Focus here. Nice that you are watching a new video today. We are going to talk about Canoo. Canoo can be found under ticker symbol GOEV. The merchant has now been completed because of course they could first be found under ticker symbol HCAC. And it seems that everyone a bit temporarily invest in Canoo and then get out once the merchant has been completed, because sometimes you see a decline of course. But lately it is really not about anything at all, because you are talking about the decrease of 36 in a very short time. And as you know, of course, I invest for the long term and I always recommend that, and Canoo is just part of a long-term vision. So yes, I have no reason to go at this point at all, none at all reason to start selling. Canoo focuses on electric vehicles that it wants to offer through a subscription service. It works a bit like this. You download the Canoo app and then simply apply to become a member. Well, if you are admitted, then you can simply pick up your car at a collection point. You then pay an amount for the vehicle every month, and for that you of course get the car, but also the car insurance. You name it. You just get the total package via Canoo, and cancelling that is actually just as easy as cancelling a Netflix subscription. For example, you can go to a month, or after 4 months think of, yes, I no longer need the car. For example, I go a lot by public transport, or you have another job, or you have lost your job. Then you can just hand in the car and you're done. Is keys. And the revenue model really appeals to me because, of course, I have a lot of confidence in the electric vehicle market. For example, I have a Neo and Tesla, you name it. But I also have a lot of faith in subscription service. People don't want to be tied to anything anymore, so they respond a bit to that demand. And flexibility, yes, is just a huge plus. So it is not the case that you have to take out a subscription for at least 6 months, or that you have to pay a deposit in advance, such as, for example, you often see when you are going to lease a car, and if you, as a company, simply sell the car once, I immediately receive money, and from the presentation of Canoo itself it is clear that more turnover can be achieved from the subscription service when it comes to cars. The cost per car is much higher, but it also yields a lot more, and spending money to earn more is always fine, of course, and Canoo has developed a skateboard for the cars, so the foundation is already there. For each model they will using that skateboard, so you are actually talking about the foundation. Only the implementation can be different, and therefore production can of course also go a lot faster, especially with the development of new models. The foundation is already in 2022. Canoo expects to be able to produce 100,000 vehicles per year, and that is of course with Canoo. It is a growth share. You really look at what is to come and not what the results have been of the last few years. That is why this is also a number for at least 5 years. The expected growth in turnover is great. But that is of course the expectation. Know that. So if you analyze Canoo in 2021, they have an expected turnover of $120 million. An increase of 258 compared to 2020. In 2022 they expect to make a turnover of $329 million. Well, that is an increase in turnover of 174 compared to 2021, and you mainly see that they expect a lot of growth in the next 3-4 years, and at some point it will of course decrease a bit. But it is of course also logical. You cannot keep growing constantly or with 200 or 300, that you just really will not succeed. But in 2021 the expected turnover is of course 120 million, and in 2023 that is already 840 million, and that is really a huge difference. But if you add some, for example, look further to 2026, the expected turnover is 4